What are some goals to set for yourself? By the time this video is over, you're not only going to discover what kind of goals you can set for yourself, but how to be more successful in achieving them. First, you'll understand what elements you need to be successful in accomplishing your goals. We'll also identify the types of goals that you can set, and you'll gain a strategy for repeated goal achievement. Are you ready to get started? Let's go. The first question I want to ask you is, what are your goals? And the follow-up question is, are they really your goals? Oftentimes we have goals based on what our families or society has put on us. And so we think that those are our goals, but that's not really what we want. And so hopefully no one else is around you right now. If so, tell them to shoot, go. Crystal said go away. And I want to ask you the question, what are your goals? What do you want to accomplish right now? What will bring you joy and prosperity and also help you to be a greater asset to those around you? Let's look at those goals that we truly want to accomplish. Are there things that you want to be different in your life, but you haven't verbalized them to yourself or others as being a real goal that you want to accomplish? The first step is start by writing down what you really want. Are there things in your life right now that you don't want? So maybe the goal is to get rid of some things. Maybe you're overstressed and you're realizing that maybe the career you have now or your friends group that you have now, maybe it's no longer serving you. So this is an opportunity for us to be honest with ourselves and really evaluate what our goals truly are that will bring us fulfillment and that will also make us a better asset to those around us because we're living in our truth and our gifts. As you're writing down your goals, keep in mind that we want our goals to be SMART goals. So maybe you're listing all the different goals you want. Start with that first. And now we want to make them SMART. SMART goals are specific. So specific isn't just, I want to be more successful. It might be that I want to have a job in this particular field by this date, right? So we're getting much more specific. I want this type of job. This is what I mean by successful. So we want it to be specific. We want it to be measurable. So can we actually say that, I want this job by this date, or if I want to earn more money, I want it to be this amount of money. We want it to be measurable. We want it to be achievable. A goal that's achievable is something, in my mind, that is a realistic stretch. In other words, you can see yourself accomplishing it if you reach a little further than you normally do. We don't want to set goals that are not achievable in our own minds because we're never going to hit it. So in an example, let's say that you have the goal of becoming CEO of a large Fortune 500 company. Right now, if you're a line employee, it's not reasonable. It's not something that you can achieve in a year. You're not going to go from being the line person to being the CEO. It doesn't mean that you won't do it, but it means that it's not achievable in the amount of time that you're giving it. Next thing you want to make sure that your goals are relevant. And that kind of reaches back into that first question that I asked you. Something that's relevant is something that matters to you. Sometimes goals are hoisted on us by others. And I do want to have a quick moment of cultural competence to say that I realize that different cultures look at this differently. I'm speaking from the perspective of someone from the United States, but if I was in another country, having those goals hoisted upon me is part of the cultural experience. You get to decide if you want to honor that or if it's no longer working for you. Maybe it is working for you really well because you have a better sense of community for thinking that way. So again, I have no judgment, but I'm giving you some examples here. And the last thing about your goals is each one of them needs to be time bound. When do you want to accomplish this thing by? Is it within a year? Is it 5 years? Is it 10 years? So take a moment, go through all those goals you set and make each and every one of those goals SMART. I do have a question for you. In the comments section, what is the last major goal that you accomplished that you're proud of? I'm interested in celebrating with you. Just take a moment, put it in the comments. There's no goal that's too big or too small. Maybe you started a company and you grew it by 50% in its first 2 years. Or maybe you potty trained your toddler, which might be harder than growing that company. There's no goal that's too big or too small that you've accomplished, but go ahead and put in the comments. I'm curious, what's one of the last goals that you accomplished that you're really, really proud of? Let's talk about the types of goals that you could set. Number one, you can set goals in terms of your career. And your career could mean that you're working for someone else or your business goal as well. But very specific goals in that area oftentimes help us measure our way to success. Another goal that we could set is around health and fitness. That could be mental health, that could be physical. It could have to do with our eating habits, or if we want it to be extra measurable, maybe we only allow ourselves to eat so many of this thing per week, or maybe we get our blood pressure numbers down to this number. Whatever that looks like, let's go ahead and set goals around health and fitness. We could have learning goals. Maybe we want to be better at our jobs, or maybe we want to learn another language. It could be business related or not, but setting some type of goal around learning and expanding, that's actually just good for brain health. We can have travel goals. Where do we want to go? We can have relationship goals, meaning that we're starting up new relationships or goals within the relationships we already have established at work and home. We can have financial goals. And financial goals doesn't always mean making more money. It might be saving money. It might be the way in which we're seeing money. It might be being educated more about our assets. Maybe it's even downsizing. We can have personal development goals. Maybe we want to read so many books in a month that help us become better people or that help us expand our horizons. We can have creativity goals, encouraging us to take up dance or take up painting or some type of artistic endeavor to get our creative juices flowing. We can have philanthropic goals because we want to make the world or community around us better. And then lastly, we can just have happiness goals. And I know that happiness is one of those things that's kind of hard to measure, but I'm personally of the belief that happiness is a choice. Many of us can choose to be happy in the same situation as someone else is miserable. Doesn't mean we're settling. It means that we're making a choice to find joy where we're at. And so maybe that's part of our goals. So maybe you have a list now of 7, 8, 9, 10 goals, and you're thinking to yourself, how do I even start? The answer is one at a time. It's like juggling. If you're learning how to juggle, you don't start with 5 balls in your hand. You might start with just 1. And then after you get that down for a few months and it becomes second nature, where it's not a challenge anymore, maybe you add another ball to the equation. Now you have 2, and you see how you handle those. And once you've accomplished, or at least get those on the road to being accomplished, and it's comfortable, it's not a stretch, now you add a 3rd. And for some of them, you might stop at some point when you're having 3. You've already finished one of those goals. You set that ball down, now you have 2, now you can add a 3rd. So don't try to accomplish all of your goals at once. That is too overwhelming. That's like trying to clean your house by cleaning all your rooms at one time. If you have a house that has 2 bedrooms, a bathroom, a kitchen, a dining room, a living room, you don't go around and just clean a little in this corner, and this corner, and this corner. You typically tackle one room at a time. And as you do that, you feel a sense of accomplishment. I've done this, and it powers you to take on the next thing. That's how we want to look at goal setting. The last thing we want to do when it comes to setting goals for ourselves is reinforce and reward. Reinforce our efforts by saying, you know what, I accomplished this thing, I want to double down on this thing. Maybe we even grow it as a new goal where we achieve a new height, but we want to make sure that we're rewarding ourselves for following through. That's a necessary action to reinforce in our brains that what we did was a good thing, and we want to do more of these types of things. We want to continue in these habits. We want to continue tackling new goals. So again, I know many people say, oh, I don't need a reward. The reward is getting the work done. I need you to just trust me. Yes, I get it. But psychologically, you need to have some type of marker saying, yay, I did it. Whether that's allowing you to have a snack you wouldn't have, going out to eat, treating yourself to the movies, giving yourself a trip, maybe even a shopping spree. Whatever that reward looks like for you. Maybe having a picnic at the beach with your family is your reward for all of your hard work. It doesn't have to involve spending a lot of money, but please, please, please reward yourself as you achieve each of these goals, because every goal that you're taking on and achieving is setting you up for a better future. Speaking of a better future, you're going to notice in the description of this video, there's a link to download a Future Ready Playbook. This is a playbook that I created just for you to help you be more strategic about planning for the future of your personal life, of your career, or if you're a business owner, for your business. It's full of worksheets and activities that can help you. If you haven't already downloaded it, do it right now.